What should I do? What should I do? I'll be all right. Nothing they can do to me. Deuteronomy. I don't know anything about that stuff. I'm a Christian. Just not a particularly knowledgeable one, I guess. One of those Christians, I guess, when you get down to it. Catholic. Typical Catholic. You kind of rebel against it, but then you realize as you get older that it was a good thing having that as a base of, a base of belief system, I suppose you'd call it. Angie! Donald, leave her alone. Just leave her alone. I got two of them. Angie, the female, and then her brother Donald, who they go at. I hate hearing the sound. There's no other ripples in my force here, except those two. It just sounds like they're trying to kill each other. And I don't know if I just don't understand the nuances of cat language, that it's not as serious as it sounds, perhaps. I don't know. But I don't like hearing it. I don't like hearing it. You know what I mean? Know what I mean? Know what I mean, Bird? All right, we'll turn the light on. I'm gonna do a little bit of house cleaning here. Get ready. Cook some food for myself. The air fryer. We're gonna do the chicken wings. I got some of my homemade. I make my own blue cheese. The shit you buy at the store, like Marie's or whatever the other one is, it's no good. It's maybe good the first time you use it. Then it separates, and it's not even that good. So I buy blue cheese crumbles, and the rest of it's just sour cream and mayonnaise, which I would generally have anyways, because I eat a lot of nachos with the sour cream. And I throw some lime juice in there and some salt and pepper. And some, parsley flakes or cilantro? Or simply organic cilantro. Sometimes I'll get, the sprig of cilantro leaf or whatever it is. But they had one time, they have that, like in Publix in Florida, they have just a little stand. It's like 2 feet by 2 feet with 4 sides, and they'll just have like shit they're getting rid of. One time they had some herbs. So I got some cilantro. So I'm using that. Probably not as good as the fresh stuff, but so what it do? It stops the stream when some asshole who I didn't want calling me calls me. See, shit like that. Fuck you. You come to my place or you call me. If I could shoot you down the phone, I would. And I would. I'm not kidding even a little bit. If I knew shooting into the phone would kill you on the other end, right in your ear, I'd do it. It'd be worth buying another phone every time that happened. If you have to make your living that way, and obviously most of the people are probably just flat out criminals, but whatever. You're a piece of shit. I stand by that assessment. I don't want to hear everybody has to make a living. Fuck you. If fucking bothering people at home with or wherever they are on their phone is your way of making a living, you're a piece of shit. And I hope to spill your blood someday. Gives me pleasure to say that. And I'm generally not a violent guy. But there's a time and a place for it. And people who harass people by calling their phones unsolicited, that qualifies in my book as somebody who deserves the violence that may come upon them. You know? Child predators, shit like that. Teachers. Congress people. Yeah, they should all be summarily rounded up and shot and killed. Oh, hi. There's people there. Thought I was talking to myself. But I'm just talking about how all our politicians should basically be rounded up and shot and killed. We wouldn't miss any of them. Not planning on participating in any of that or really even advocating. Did I just advocate for it? I guess I did. You know what I mean. They're all fucking self-serving pieces of shit. Hello. Don't worry, I'm just having an anti-establishment little moment. If you're pro-politician in any way, you probably should leave. And I hopefully expect nobody to leave. If you're dumb enough to think that politicians are good people and they're telling you the truth, any of them, Republican, Democrat, Independent, you're a fool. Isn't that obvious? It's all right to have these thoughts and even say them out loud, in my opinion, anyhow. That's the way you don't act on them. Or for me, anyways. Say it out loud. It's like an exhaust pipe, you know? And that makes very good sense to me. It's like an exhaust pipe. Let it out. Speak your piece and just go on with your life. Now, if it were to happen, I don't think I'd feel bad for any of them. Because they're all stealing from us, man. There's no way somebody makes, what do they make? A congressperson makes 100 and something thousand, and all of a sudden they have 30 million. There's something nefarious going on there. The amazing thing is a lot of them seem to think that they have that right once they become a politician, whether it's a governor, senator, congressperson. They seem to think that they've earned some right to milk the system and serve themselves, help themselves to it. No sympathy from me, man. I'm anti-politician. No big stretch there. No big revelation there. It's just amazing that at least some of them do make a good effort at trying to be honest, but you get people who will vote for like a Karen Bass or a Gavin Newsom, and I don't even see that they try and make any effort that they're honest people or not in there to just rob you blind. Like Gavin Newsom's just absolutely, it's one of those things, once you see it, I mean, how could you ever think he's a good person unless you're just like, well, he's giving me shit. If you're a piece of shit, you'll like a guy like that because that's who he serves. Because he knows there's more pieces of shit in this world than there are people who aren't, who just want to work hard and be honest. It's too bad because California is the coolest state we got, and it's just ruined by scumbags. And that'd be the people who vote for those people. Said hi, Nadia Jimenez. Hello. I said hi to everybody. We all need individual hellos. You can do that. Ho, Patty Spencer. Hi, shit. Holy shit. Chill. Oh, relax. Need some douchebag telling me to chill. I'm pretty chill, dude. I don't know about you, but it's easy to remain chill and rail against our politicians. Ain't nothing gonna happen or change. Pongs! Remember the original Pink Panther movies, Peter Sellers? And the guy who played, what was the name of his housekeeper guy? But he had, the deal was he had to like sneak attack him when he came home. God, that was funny shit. That was funny. Peter Sellers was, and he was apparently just a really miserable guy in life, real life. He was funny though. Great movie. You ever see Being There? Great movie. Peter Sellers. If you haven't, you should check it out. I only saw it probably in the last, within 5 years, and I'd known about it for a long time. But he plays this guy, he's like a gardener, and he's just really, he's like really simple sort of guy, and he ends up rising to the highest levels of power in the country because he just keeps his mouth shut a lot, and people think he's some wise man. It's just an interesting movie. Political, or what do you call it? Social comment. Food for thought. It makes people uneasy when you don't say nothing. Like, what's he building in there? What's he building in there? I'll tell you one thing, it's not a playhouse for the children. What's he building in there? It's a Tom Waits song. You should check that out. You ever hear Tom Waits? You should. Not going to hear him on the radio, if they even have radio anymore. Really good. Tom Waits. But he always, on every album, he usually has a song, like a spoken word, like he's got, that's one of them. What's he building in there? What's he building in there? What is your favorite color? My favorite color, orange. Is that bad? That's kind of creepy when people ask you things on the internet because you're just like, what did I just reveal that they're going to use it to do something bad to me? It's just the way the world works now. Can't trust anybody. I like orange. Orange is a good. It's kind of somewhat. It can be somewhat neutral, but it's also just a cool color. Somewhat matte. I find it masculine. Slim Ball. That's it, Slime Ball, which would have been a good legit name, dude. Might as well claim it. Look at my name. What do I got? What's this called? The Pooh? As in the shh. Got a gaggle of cats just going crazy in the background here. Is that what you call? What do you call a group of cats? A group of cats? A lot of cats? They're all related. I got 5 cats, but they're all from the same mother. Different fathers. Possibly several of the same. I get 2 black, 2 orange, and one tortoise shell, which was the color of the mother. Kind of like dark color with splotches of orange. But she's a long hair. The mother was a short hair. Two all black, which I love. I love the black cats. Funny, sometimes you'll try and take a picture of your cats in some cute pose. The black ones never come out well because, like, the features, you can't see where the mouth is and stuff. So it's like, it just looks like a blob. In natural lighting. Then they open their eyes. It's so cool. That's how I ended up with 5 cats. I didn't go out and get 5 cats. I kind of was taking care of the neighborhood. The mother was like an outdoor neighborhood cat. I kept feeding her, and then she'd have her babies at my house. And I got rid of a bunch, 2 other people. And I kind of ended up with 5, whom I love, but it is a lot. I don't know that I wouldn't have gone out and gone to the ASPCA and kept getting cats. I'm not that. But there was a lot in the neighborhood, and I kept feeding them, and their mother, who was alive the last time I went up to where I used to live. And I was going to take her with me, but she got in my car, and then she got out. I didn't do nothing. She jumped in my car. And then she walked around a little bit and got out. I'm like, all right, sweetie. Your choice. She's a survivor, though. I believe in that. Make your choice. It's up to you. She's a sweetheart, though. Lila, I named her Lila. And then her daughter is Lola. And then she had the last litter of hers that I ended up with. It was only 2. 3. There were 3 born, and one of them, the night they were born, one was born on the August 29th, and one was born on August 30th. It was 11:55 and 12:05. And there was a third one, and I left it, I left her alone with her 3 newborns. She's looking, cleaning them, and I came back in half hour later, and one of them was not breathing. I don't know if she rolled over on it or if it just wasn't strong enough to survive. It was sad. Did not expect that, And that was the 5th litter, so I wasn't in any way thinking that I had to sit there and watch, make sure nothing like that happened. because it hadn't happened previously. So I don't really know what happened. There was no visible markings. So it was either like she rolled over on her or something like that. So I ended up with two, one orange and one black. And I thought the black one was a girl. So I called it, and it was in August leading up to the election. So I named the orange one Donald and the black one Kamala. But I couldn't call it Kamala because what a despicable human being she is. Self-serving, lying, worthless piece of shit. You don't like that? I don't care. But, so I called her, started calling her Lala, but it turned out she was a boy. So I changed his name to Zigaboo. And he's a great cat. He's just the chillest cat. And he was a black cat. And I couldn't tell the features. And I guess he seemed feminine. Just looked like a girl. And his older sister is Angie. She's black. I think there's certain, like, orange cats are oftentimes boys. I think I talked about this last night on my stream. And like one of her first litters she had with me, she had 4 orange cats, and I thought they were all boys, and it turned out one of them was a girl. And the girl was the most, was kind of like the leader. Like she seemed to like do most of the things first, but then get over your whatever, women power bullshit. Women are great, but there's things they're great at, and there's things men are great at, you know. That's the whole thing. It takes two. It's a complementary situation. And any normal person would know that and accept that and agree with that. Tomato sauce here, I didn't see. On the cabinet. That was last night. I had the meatballs sandwich. Because I had some Italian bread. Light off. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? So now we're going to cook. I got to finish up my blue. Oh, yeah, this started, I think, talking about my blue trees. Blue trees. Blue cheese. I make my own blue cheese, which is very simple. 1/4 cup of sour cream, 1/4 cup of mayonnaise, blue cheese crumbles, some salt, some pepper, and lime juice, and cilantro. And it's quite good, but you only got a couple days. You got maybe 4 days on that. In fact, I will be bummed out, but not shocked if I pull it out and it's already not good. Then I'll be in a little bit of a pickle. Guess we'll have to go with the honey mustard. All right. Let's play some music. Almost. I restrang this. Restrang, is that even a word? It's a nylon string guitar, 3/4 size. But I put new strings on it yesterday and they've been stretching out. So it goes out of tune. But it should stop. It's going out of tune less and less between times I pick it up. But it's kind of like the low E, which is the fattest string on the top of the guitar, goes out the least. And as you go down towards the bottom and the smaller, like the G here, which is the third from the bottom, that was out more than the 3 previous. Then there's the B string. right, today is the 12th day of Christmas, for those of you who don't know. As in, Christmas Day is day number 1 in that whole thing. And I just looked it up because I wondered. Today is the day is something, I could look that up, but it's like a day, it's named for somebody, a saint or something. Or just some day like Ascension Day or something. I don't think that's it, but it's something like that. Because I don't know about you, but it didn't make sense that the 12 days of Christmas was a countdown. It made more sense to me that Christmas was day 1 and it'd be the 12 days of Christmas, starting with Christmas. So January 5th is the last day. So it's still okay to play a Christmas song. So this is Christmas. What have you done? Another year over. New one just begun. So this is Christmas. I hope you have fun. Dear ones, old and the young, Merry, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. I hope it's a good one, without any fear. So Merry Christmas. Nylon strings are fun, man. Good to just play with your hand, you know. You can just strum with your whole hand or fingers or whatever. Good one to just leave sitting around to pick up at any time. Let me put my chicken on. Light on. Light off. Get with the program. Go with the air fryer. We've got a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. I guess we'll have to go with 5. That's all I got left. 3 would be too little. Can't just leave 1. 4 is about right, but we'll go with 5. This is good. Another one. This isn't an advertisement. Just letting you know. But if you work for them, you can pay me and I'll speak well about it. But I'll speak well about it without that. It's called Just Bear. I found it's much better than Tyson. Like no antibiotics. Ever. But it's good. It's expensive too, but you know, down here in Florida we shop at Publix. You got Winn-Dixie, but you got a lot more Publix. And there's Aldi's popping up everywhere. But you just wait till it's on sale. Sometimes it's only $2 off, like $13.99. That would be like, this is I think $13.99, maybe $11.99. But occasionally they'll do a BOGO, so you get 2 packages for the price of 1, and that's a little rare though, especially with something like that. But it's good. Oh, what do we got? Let me make sure I get the right 13 minutes, I think. Let's check that. Conventional oven. There's nothing conventional about what we're doing here. 13 minutes. That's it, kids. So this is my new song I wrote. Started it Saturday, finished it yesterday. Actually, I haven't finished. I got to write some more verses, but maybe another verse. But sing us a song about drinking. We're driving in my pickup truck, throwing a line about my girl and how she's a really good luck. Throwing a line where we can say, woo! Keep it simple so we'll know what to do. So how about a song about drinking? And riding around in my pickup truck, throwing a line about my girl and how she's a really good cook. We don't want to talk here about politics. Cowgirls just are thinking about cowboys' dicks. Don't try and throw in any clever bits, 'cause cowboys are just trying to look at cowgirls' tits. How about a song about drinking and riding on my motorbike? Keep it real simple, 'cause those are the songs I like. I got tattoos all over my heart and my soul. I put on my leather and I'm ready to roll. Roaring down the highway and feeling no pain. It'll be a perfect day if it doesn't rain. So sing us a song about drinking, riding on my motorbike. Keep it real simple, 'cause those are the songs I like. I think maybe one more verse, but I don't really need it, maybe. And that's all people really want. Not that I really want to write any more complicated song than that, but maybe a little deeper. But I play a lot of cover songs too, and just people don't want to. The songs that are popular nowadays are like, you know, that like Red Solo Cup and shit like that, and I just gets me down. People want to sing out together and shit, and I just, which you can, but it doesn't have to be some dumb, stupid song. In my opinion. But I bet you people will like that song, because they want to be able to go, woo! Who doesn't? It's nice to finish a song, though. I got a lot of cool lyrics, you know, but it's only like maybe a chorus and a verse. So remember that when you're listening to a song, a lot of times that's going to be your strongest part, like the first verse or the chorus. And then you got to flesh it out with another verse or two. Sometimes they come easy, and it's all right there, like it just flows, and one idea leads to the other. And other times, you got to think about, with a song like that right there, you can kind of, you can spend a lot of time, like trying to decide what you want the next verse to be about, and it can still be pretty clever because it's a pretty basic subject about like people who want to go to a type of person who goes to a bar and how they dress or act or what they're looking for, But I like that one. I got tattoos all over my heart and my soul. I put on my leather and I'm ready to roll. I'm roaring down the highway and I'm feeling no pain. If it'll be a perfect day if it doesn't rain. 'Cause that's it, if it looks like it's gonna rain, you don't take your bike out. Unless you're hardcore. And it's worse if you go out and leave your house at 10, 11 in the morning and then you're having a great day and 3:30 comes around and all of a sudden it's about the thunder. And you live an hour and a half away. It's nice writing your own songs though. I play a lot of covers. I love music, and I love the music I love, and I consider myself somewhat of a, for lack of a better word, an evangelist for songs. As in, I just like to, and I play a lot. Beatles and Stones and Dylan are the Grateful Dead are the basis of my music. And I like to remind people who don't listen to that anymore, or haven't heard those songs in a while, or maybe haven't heard them at all. Hopefully I can put them across well enough that people are like, oh, that was nice, I haven't heard that in a while, or oh, who does that one? Or that was a cool song. It's mainly what I'm looking for. I have a habit though, like I play a regular gig on a Sunday. It's like the only gig I'm playing now. But I'll learn a song like Saturday and I'm in no way ready to play it. And it'll be like one of the first couple songs I play. And there'll be just a couple people there, usually a smattering. And instead of playing songs I know really well, I'll play like the song I'm just learning. Which you can do that, but you maybe should wait 10 songs in instead of like one of the first or second songs. A lot of love to change the way things are. It's gonna take a lot of love, or we won't get too far. So you move in my direction, and we don't see eye to eye. My heart needs protection, so do I. It's gonna take a lot of love to change the way things are. It's gonna take a lot of love. Neil Young, man, I love his music. And I respect that he's puts his opinion out there and stands behind it and does stuff. But his opinions are really bad. They're just stupid. They're just the opinions of somebody who doesn't ever have to... They're just simple. And they're the opinions of somebody who doesn't have to deal with the bad side of those opinions. As in immigration, Everybody, we all know this is a country of immigrants and all that, but you can't just let millions of people in when you don't know anything about them. Very simple. Any normal person would agree to that and wants that in their neighborhood. You know? We all want people to have the opportunity to improve their life and stuff. But there's also something to be said about, a lot of these immigrants that come to our country now, they never assimilate. They don't, they're still flying their Mexican flags or whatever country. And I know and like a lot of Mexican people. But if it's so great, why not try and improve your own country? And that's not a mean statement saying it like that. It's if you love your country that much, why do you want to leave it? It can seem crazy. I understand with the cartels in Mexico that people are like, what can we do? Well, you got to start that movement and get it enough people, And you just need strong-willed people to resist the temptations of the money that'll be thrown your way. As when they see your potential making headway, they're going to either kill you or try and co-opt you. But I just think it's important. Like, I always go back to Parmesan cheese, That's called that because of Parma, Italy, and from the Italians there. And we don't want that town to just become full of, like, people from Nigeria. Because they're not, it's nothing wrong with Nigeria, but make Nigeria great, and it's fine if, a smattering of people, that's my word of the night, smattering, but want to move on, and move to other places. But you can't have thousands or millions trying to go to other countries and take over and completely change the dynamic of it. It's good to have the individual features in aesthetic, or, like having Parmesan cheese being unique to Parma, Italy. I mean, obviously there's manufacturing plants wherever now, but that you get those interesting things and the dialects and stuff, like people speaking with different accents and stuff. That's why would you want to encourage that going away from our world? Doesn't mean we can't travel and all hang out together. But you don't have to go and like take over and dilute, and it's not about some sort of being a Nazi or something. Don't be so simple. People who get all mad about you can't say anything. It's like, oh, you're a Nazi. No, I'm not. You know what that means? It means I need something to, what I do, Louisiana hot sauce. I use a variety of hot sauces when I make my buffalo wings. Eventually I'll figure out which one I like enough, but I don't the most. I don't know if I would though. Like I've used Frank's Red Hot, that works well. This is pretty good. This is pretty spicy shit right here. So I usually pour that in a bag and make my own buffalo, or not, it's not buffalo flavor, I guess. It's just hot wings, I guess. Then you always have a little that sticks to the bottom, but that's I like that, the skin, that it's not skin, the batter or whatever. Burn myself picking it off. All right. But I like to cut it up so that you're coating all sides Instead of leaving it in one big piece, you cut it up into smaller pieces, which you might do after you, but this way you're coating all sides, you know what I mean? So I'll just slice each slice up into bite-sized pieces and then put it in the hot sauce. In the bag. I don't have a bag ready. I like to use, usually I'll use like an old bag from like bread. That works well. But I've used all the ones I have. So I might actually have to break out a new bag. Like a plastic, you know, Glad or something. A Glad bag. Let's see what we got. You see? Yeah, I'm not giving you any better light. Deal with it. Not that exciting. They're chicken strips and I cut them up into bite-sized pieces. Now I'm going to pour some of that hot sauce into something. Let's see what I got here. These are all my shopping bags, which you would think should be clean, right? The good ones, you get the ones, you know, you put your apples in and stuff, the ones from the produce section, those work well as well. I don't know if I have any of those. Apparently not. Bet you I do down there. But maybe buried too deep. And then what I'll do, after I've got the bag that's all dirty from that, I'll put the kitty litter in it. Get it right out of here. You know what I mean? Make sure there's no holes. Sometimes there's holes in those bags. That's why I prefer to use more of the... I wonder if I can use this bag. The problem is, from my freezer, I got like a bunch of water in there. Make sure we don't have holes. Because I'm going to be pouring a liquid in there. All right, seems to be no hole. A liquid that will just make a mess. Let's see what we got there. Ah, the AC. I hate the AC in I'm in an RV. It's nice having an AC, but it's right above me, and it's just loud. And it's also cold, which is nice because it's Florida, but unfortunately, this is like the nexus of all activity right under it, directly under it. So it gets a little annoying. It's a little too cold to be sitting under it trying for like extended periods. The crazy part is when I do the bread, use a bread, you know, that's a long plastic, but a lot of times I'll have so much hot sauce in there that I'll actually maybe use it the next night. I haven't got sick yet. So I'll reach my hand in and take the chicken out. Oh, I love it. So I got this guy, I thought he was my friend. And I'm kind of dumb when it comes to people, I guess. I'm too naive. But anyway, so we're talking last weekend, not the weekend that just passed, the weekend before. No, it was Christmas. Because I don't talk to him much anymore because he's been such a jerk. But I feel I have enough class that I wish him happy birthday and I wish him Merry Christmas. And he doesn't do the same to me. And you may be watching this and going, because you're a jerk. Well, maybe I am, but I don't think I am. I'm just opinionated. I like to push buttons. But anybody who knows me well knows I'm really just kidding and doing that, so they don't get offended at every little thing I say, And I like that. I won't change because I'm like, you know what? If you're that easily offended, I don't want to be around you anyway. So I wish him Merry Christmas. And we haven't talked since November when his birthday was. I sent him a happy birthday. So that was December 25th, obviously. And so he answers me back and he's like, "Oh, Merry Christmas, man. Hope you're having a better day than I am. I'm sitting on the side of the road in Sarasota. My car broke down." And I'm like, "Oh, that sucks, man. Can I help you out?" I'm like, "Let me know if I can do anything." He's like, "No, I just got some guy pulled over. He's going to see if he has some spark plugs for me." And he's like, "We should get together and go to the beach." I'm like, "Yeah, that'd be cool." But I wasn't working. Now I'm working. I'm like, the only day I could go would be New Year's Day because I'm working every other day. And that was the last text I sent to him. Like, it would have to be New Year's Day, because I'm working. And I didn't hear nothing till today. That was the last thing I heard. So I understand dealing with car problems on Christmas, but there was a whole bunch of days between there and today. We're supposed to be friends. And he sends me this text. "Where are you working now? I hope it's exciting." And I'm just like, you know what, man? Stick it in your ear. Took you how long is that? 5 days, like 2 weeks to respond, and all he wants to know is where I'm, and I know he probably wants to know where I'm working, so if he can get a job or something, even though he's a lot older than me. But I just thought it was pretty shitty, and I think that may be the final straw for me. I hate that. I got one of those gristly pieces of chicken right there. It'd probably be the only one in the whole thing, and it was the first bite I had. It sucked. So that's where I'm at with that. I thought that was pretty shitty. So I didn't answer him back. I know. What happens is, I really don't think he deserves it. And he's done many things of this nature. Who's this weirdo? That's just... Ugh. But maybe tomorrow I'll be like, you know what? I don't want to be like him. But I really don't want to hang out with him anymore. He's been really mean to me. And saying it in that manner sounds really retarded. But last time we hung out, he got all pissed at me because I was talking when he wanted to watch this show, Jack Reacher or something, or Reacher. And neither of us are used to be TV people because we're men and adults. And watching TV shows is pretty lame. And it's something you can do at any time and, do it by yourself. And he was all pissed. I thought he was going to kill me. And I'm not even exaggerating that. I mean, he was... So I could just tell it was kind of... And the reason I say it like that, it was that bad. It betrays the fact that he really doesn't like me anymore. To get that angry about something like that. Because I'm just dude, I drove an hour and a half to come to your house and you're going to make me... I got to sit here silently while you watch some lame-ass TV show? Give me a fucking break. That you could watch at any time. He used to watch that stupid show, Big Bang Theory. Never was a fan, sorry. Don't get me wrong, there was some funny shit in there, but I just didn't like the people and kind of thing. It just didn't. There was just, I don't know. It just didn't work for me. And I'm kind of at the point many years ago where I don't really watch. The last TV show I enjoyed was Hawaii Five-0, the remake. And that was well done. Some of the plot lines were a little ridiculous, but like they went to Vietnam to get some guy out of Vietnam or Afghanistan or something. But Jimmy Buffett was the pilot of the helicopter, so that was pretty good. But it was really the best part about that show was like the human interaction between the characters. You know, like the guy who played McGarrett and Dano. They were kind of like acted like argued like a married couple, and it was good banter and stuff. That was really what made the show good. But I just basically I bought the DVDs. I mean, I did watch it when I could, but you know, I would never like be like shut up unless my friend was with me watching it. Maybe they'd be enjoying it too, but I would never put a TV show over hanging with somebody in person. Pretty easy decision in my opinion. So I think it just, like I said, it betrayed the fact that he just could care less about. He was a very, he's the type of guy who just, he's what I would call a vampire. You know, when he wants you, he'll call you. You know, and other than everything was on his terms. You know, I'd be like, hey, you want to do that? Then, just a really shitty guy. And just to reiterate, when I met him in Hawaii. We worked for the same company. He was from Wisconsin, and I was from Massachusetts, and we worked for a company that was national. And we got sent out there, and we met to do a job. And he came out there with a friend. And the first night I met those guys, and we were like one street back from Waikiki Beach. Great hotel, had a rental car, hotel paid for, getting paid. But he went to bed because he had partied too hard the night before he left. And he's like 15 years old, 12 years old. He doesn't drink, but so anyway, so me and his buddy go out, just walking around, and it's Waikiki, so it's happening. And we got one beer. We went to Chili's, and we're sitting there. And his friend tells me, he's like, yeah, just keep your distance from him, man. He's a bit of a scumbag. He'll tell you anything you want to hear to get what he wants. And I'm like, don't worry about it, dude. As long as it doesn't kind of affect me personally, like I'm just thinking if it's about work or whatever, I really don't give a shit. And I stayed friends with him a long time. That was 2008. And he did many things where he'd be like, oh, we're going to do this, or I'll give you a call. And I understand shit happens, once in a while, but it was like every time. And I just kept, because we did have fun a lot of times when we get together, but it became less and less to the point where he's yelling at me for talking during his TV show. Just a jerk. Well, thanks for talking that through with me. think the chicken's slightly overcooked. It's a little firm. Now this is a solid single guy meal here, man. Got a bowl full of blue cheese dressing that I made with hot chicken strips and Coca-Cola. Coke after Coke after Coke after Coca-Cola. God, that AC sucks. I don't know why they couldn't have put it like right over here. You know, it's right next to the kitchen table here, the couch. Here's the front door. They've got it right at the sink. Hot though in Florida again. We had a couple cooler days last week. Today was pretty warm. Seems like with the lower angle of the sun the past couple days, it's actually really hot when the sun's on you. You know, back in June and July, the sun's up here. Now the sun's kind of hitting you from over here. It's going to be 80 the next couple days. But it's getting cold at night. You know, it's down into the 50s. And once you kind of lost your northernness, I grew up in Massachusetts, but I'm all Floridian now. 50 degrees, it's parka time. I was laughing because the other day it was like 60 something. And I'm like, if that was Massachusetts, you know, like say in May or April, you'd be like out washing the car in shorts. And I'm like wearing long pants and a sweatshirt, you know. It was a little windy, but even that, if you were in Massachusetts after the winter, you'd be like, fuck, this is great. So, obviously age probably plays a part. Does anybody do the big ice cubes? I like them. They're big. I'm a fan. Last piece. Worked out well. Used up all the blue cheese, and it's not excessive amount there. Perfect. Well played. If I do say so myself. I like my alliterations. You know, like all your seasick sailors, they are rowing home, or I do say so myself. Any of you know what that's from? All your seasick sailors, they are rowing home. Is there anybody out there? It's from the song It's All Over Now, Baby Blue by Bob Dylan. Yeah, I've never... You must leave now, take what you need, you think will last. But whatever you wish to read, better grab it fast. He understands your orphan with his gun. Right like a river in the sun. And it's all over now, baby blue. That's Lola. What's up, babe? You must leave now. Oh, I already did that one, didn't I? All your seasick sailors, they are rowing home. You're rowing, they are going home. You understand your orphan with his... I already did that one too. Crying like a lion in the sun. The dew is falling under you. Ah, and it's all over now, baby blue. I gotta learn that one. I haven't really thought about playing that one. It's from, I think it's on, isn't it on Bringing It All Back Home? I believe so. Yes. Yes, it is. That was the album with Subterranean Homesick Blues, Maggie's Farm, Love Minus Zero, No Limit, She Belongs to Me, It's Alright Ma, I'm Only Bleeding, Gates of Eden, and It's All Over Now, Baby Blue. On the Road Again. Great album. Great album. Then the next album he made was the greatest album, Highway 61 Revisited, with Like a Rolling Stone, Just Like Tom Thumb's Blues, Desolation Row, From a Buick 6, Highway 61, Tombstone Blues, Queen Jane, Approximately. And then the album after that was a double album, Blonde on Blonde, which is awesome. Highway 61 is probably the best. But all three of those, they're basically, you can just get all three of them. There's really not a bad song on there. The one song I'd say I can do without is the one. It's a very beloved song, and it's a great tune, but it's Sad-Eyed Lady of the Lowlands. And actually, I shouldn't say that. It is a great one. But it's like 12 minutes long. It's pretty, but it's got some great lines, you know. Jewels and binoculars hang from the head of the mule. Sad-eyed lady of the lowlands come. I don't know. Is that Jewels and Binoculars line from that tune? It's a couple classical. But like there's a song on there on Blonde called One of Us Must Know. Sooner or later, one of us must know. And I remember not liking that at first. You know, it's an odd tune, an odd melody and stuff. And now it's like my favorite one. But just so that's where I Want You comes from. Rainy Day Women, obviously, probably the most known one. But Visions, Johanna. Obviously, Five Believers. Absolutely, Sweet Marie. Stuck Inside a Mobile with the Memphis Blues again. Oh, the ragman, he draws circles up and down the block. I'd ask him what's the matter, but I know that he don't talk. And the ladies even have and they furnish me with tape. But deep inside my heart, I know there's no escape. Oh, mama, can this really be the end? Stuck inside a mobile with those Memphis Blues. Mona said come see her in a honky tonk. That's like the last verse. There's at least 7 verses in that tune. I had them all down at one time. I could do it if you give me the first line of each one. I could do each verse, but I had it all memorized. I made a video of it up in Massachusetts at my sister's when I was just up there for some occasion at her house. They were all working, so I was just there, and I made a video on the back porch. But Desolation Row has 11 verses, and I can do all them by heart. In fact, I opened up my gig yesterday at the place I play on Sundays with that one. There was nobody there. They're nice enough to let me play, you know, because it's a different experience standing up and playing to a microphone, you know, and standing up and playing as opposed to sitting down and playing but people came in and out. I made some money. People put some money in. I had a couple dance. I played Stand By Me, which I don't play often. I guess I'll play it more. When the night is come and the moon is something, the lines are the only sight you'll see. I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand I was inspired to play that one from the John Lennon rock and roll album. He does that on there. It's obviously Benny King. But I probably wouldn't have wanted to play it just based on the Benny King version. Not that that's not great, but, you know, when Lennon does it, it has just a little more edge, a little more rock and roll attitude. It's good to have a few tunes like that, like those really universal tunes that everybody of just about every age knows. I doubt young people today know it. But there was a time when pretty much, you know, say in the 80s, like a 60-year-old would know that and a 20-year-old would know that, you know. I did a nice little Beatles, well, let me in here, let me in here, let me into your heart, let me know you, let me show you. That's the opening tune on All Things Must Pass. George had great tune. And basically he's writing that's he wrote that as to Bob Dylan. Kind of like, you know, like a welcoming invite. And he was close with Dylan, but as close as anybody could be. You know, not many people. But I think there's a little bit of a myth there. I think Dylan is probably, he may not be super close with anybody, but I think people that he grew up with, his friend like Louis Kemp and stuff, or those are the people he knew as a teenager that were his peers when he was 12 years old and 13 years old and stuff. I bet you there's a deeper relationship there. That's what I like about him is he's kept it. He's his you know, he's a private person, very famous private person, and he's kept it that way, you know. And he's kept it enigmatic. Even when he gives an interview, he's just fucking with the interviewer and shit. You never really learn anything about him, and good for him. But I went from that right into on that one. Pretty easy to play, but I don't have it down by memory, obviously. I am he as you are me as you are me. They are the Eggmen. I am the Eggman. I think it goes the other way around. I'm the walrus. I need to get that one down by heart. A lot of words to it, though, you know, a lot of tricky wordplay. which is kind of the point when that was the phase of the Beatles went through there. That was, the Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds era and stuff. And that's what they were about, especially Lennon. John wasn't as prolific as Paul, but his songs were oftentimes more interesting, She's not a girl who misses much. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Oh, yeah. She's well acquainted with the touch of the velvet glove, like a rabbit on a window pane. So busy working overtime. Soap impression of his wife, which he ate and donated to the National Trust. I need a fix, 'cause I'm going down to the bits that I left uptown. I need a fix, 'cause I'm going down. Mother Superior, jump the gun. 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 Happiness is a warm gun. Happiness is a warm gun. When I hold you in my arms, oh yeah, and I feel my finger on your trigger, I know no one can do me no harm, because happiness is a warm bang, bang, shoot, shoot. Happiness is a warm gun. Happiness is a warm, yes it is. Bang, bang, shoot, shoot. Happiness is a warm, bang, bang, shoot, shoot. The news is out all over town. You've been seen out running round. I know that you what should I do, Lord? You in again. This heart of mine could never see what everybody knows but me. Just trust in you was my great sin. What can I do, Lord? You win again. Baby. Oh, baby, tell the man at the ticket line that you changed your mind. have to keep his meter flying. 'Cause if you leave right now, you know you're gonna break my mind. Break my mind, break my mind. You know I just can't stand to hear that big jet engine's whine. Break my mind, break my mind. Oh Lord, 'cause if you leave right now, you're a babbling fool. If you go right now, you're a babbling fool behind. Damn. I just added that one. I played it yesterday for the first time. I wrote the words down right before I left. Great tune, but I became familiar with it from the Flying Burrito Brothers, and I would definitely advise checking them out, the Flying Burrito Brothers. But that's called "Break My Mind." 2 minutes and 5 seconds, I believe. But just a beautiful tune with the lead by Sneaky Pete Kleinow on the pedal steel guitar. But I believe it's, I guess, I went to look up the lyrics so I could write them down, and they all said Roy Orbison. I don't know if he wrote it, but apparently he did it first. I've never heard, I'm not super familiar with all of Roy Orbison's stuff, but, I got a couple of CDs. But I didn't see that on there. And you would have thought it was at least maybe a single, and maybe it was. But, you buy a CD of Roy Orbison's greatest hits, you're going to know Pretty Women and Ooby Dooby and couple songs, that you might have heard the titles to, or at least, and then there's probably like half the songs you've never even heard of before, but they were singles back in the late 50s and early 60s when he was doing his thing at the top. And I don't recall seeing that on any of the CDs I had. But also Vern Gosdin did it, who I'm only vaguely familiar. I've heard the name of many times. I believe he's more of a bluegrass singer. Maybe just country, maybe rockabilly. Which kind of Roy Orbison was considered somewhat rockabilly-ish, I believe. Never been a huge Roy Orbison. I mean, I'm a, I've never listened to Roy Orbison a ton, I know exactly who he is and what it's about and how he was a pretty unique performer, but, a guy like that, he's not doing a ton of, he's got that wonderful voice, but it's not like he's doing songs like Strawberry Fields and I Am the Walrus, you know what I mean? And if you don't, you should. You should know what I'm saying. Roy Orbison should be somebody you know and know many of his songs and appreciate. But it's more important that you listen to the Beatles. Then I wrapped up my set. What did I play? I played yeah. I always do a yell like that. I love doing that song. And it's not inappropriate, man. It's these songs of freedom, and you're spreading the message, Bob. Pirates, yes, they rob I. Sold I to the merchant ships. Minutes after they took I from the bottomless pits, where my hands were made strong by the hands of the Almighty, and we forward in this generation triumphantly sitting in a crummy movie with my hand in my chin. All the violence that occurs seems like we never win. Love and mercy, that's what we need tonight. So love and mercy to you and your friends tonight. I was lying in the nude and the news came on TV. Oh, a lot of people out there hurting and it really scares me. Not sure about that line. So love and mercy, that's what we need tonight. So love and mercy to you and your friends tonight. I was standing in a bar watching all the people there. There's a lot of loneliness in this world, seems like it's just not fair. So love and mercy, that's what we need tonight. So love and mercy to you and your friends tonight. I gotta get those. That's all the words there are, but I'm not sure they were all right. The 2 second verses, there's 4 lines in each verse, and the last 2 lines of the second and third verse, I just got to straighten those out. One's about the loneliness, and which I think I did them right, but I think I had the emotion right. I think the second verse is something like a lot of people out there hurting, and the third verse is a lot of lonely, but I'm not sure I said them right. But Brian Wilson, great tune. And the line, I was lying in the nude and the news. That's a purposeful change. The line actually goes, I was lying in bed and the news came on TV. But when I always listen to that song, it sounded to me, it always sounded like, and I immediately made this change, like I'd sing along with with the wink, like I was lying in the nude. I just think it's funny. Thinking of Brian Wilson, not in any weird way, but just laying in his bed naked. Actually, I just think of me, like I was lying in the bed, nude, watching the news. No big deal. But then some guy came out, and he had his dog, because I'm playing outside, and he poked his head out, and I was like, I was just wrapping up, but I'll play a couple tunes for you. And I did, and I played... Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste. I've been around for a long, long ways. Stole many a man's soul and faith. then I closed with It's gonna take a lot of love. That's a G major 7th that I've never, I've only seen it in that song. It's a Neil Young has a lot. He likes that G major 7th. A lot of times he'll do it like that, where you're the second fret on the E, the high E, the low bottom string, and then the third fret on the low E, so the top two strings, the top and the bottom strings, second and third fret. Like in Think I'd Like to Go Back Home and Take It Easy. There's a woman that I'd like to get to know, living there. Well, everybody seems to wonder what it's like down here. Well, I gotta get away from this day-to-day running around. Everybody knows this is nowhere. Right here. So that's a G, then you drop. That's a G major 7th. La 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 la. Everybody knows G. See how it kind of. But on this one, he's doing second fret on the A and the E string, second from the top and the bottom string, and then on the third fret, top string, which is the G, and then the B string in the third. So those 4 using, and that is it, So I just been playing this one a couple weeks, so I got that kind of down, but it's a little messy. But I'm just gonna keep hammering it, and that's the thing about the guitar. You'll experience the reward. I'll have that chord down, and putting your fingers in a new position like that, kind of unusual one, takes practice. But then you'll get it, and it'll be second nature, To an F sharp minor. The key is, and especially when you're doing a new chord finger like that, is really seeing where you can. So now I'm into the F sharp major, which you use a lot, but being able to just know what. So you want to be able to keep some fingers in place. So you're barring this, but you just drop your pointy finger down to the A string, second one down, Just having a good fluid movement, So. But I played that song like when I first started playing it about 2 weeks ago. I played it like second song of my set. I saw her standing there, which is pretty, very basic, just E, A, and B. And then I had to go into Lotta Love, and I wasn't really ready. But and there were people there, you can't stop. So I'm up there, I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have done this. And I finished, but then I watched it back, and it wasn't great, but it wasn't horrible. I think if you know the song, I was playing that song. It wasn't a total train wreck. Close. There was some cars going off the rails, don't get me wrong. But it's never as bad as it feels to me as it's occurring. I think. Jeepster. Having a lot of trouble with that one. I can play it, But the singing, it's tough. The words don't completely jibe with the rhythm you're playing. Songs like that are really difficult. Werewolves of London was like that when I was first playing it. You know, you're doing. I play that on ukulele, but how's it go? Like, I saw a werewolf walking through the streets of Soho in the rain. But you get it down if you just keep going, you know, and that's a measurable step in your progression. Like all of a sudden, you know, when you're first playing that, you're like, oh my God, this is impossible. You know, you're trying to sing the words and the rhythm, that's a distinct rhythm you're playing, and the words don't completely flow over that. And then when you get it, you know, you've gotten better. You know, that's what's nice about guitar. And you never stop improving and needing to improve and just improving. You keep playing, there's always something you're going to be able to. Nobody has ever gotten to the point where they know it all. It's impossible. What was the song I did yesterday? It was like that. Oh. Shattered, shattered. Shattered, shattered. Loneliness and sex and sex and sex and sex. Look at me. I'm in tatters. Shattered. That's a tough one. I played that yesterday. That was one of those ones. There was two people. There were four people there, two couples, and yeah, that was a rough ride. I hadn't played it in a while because it's a really difficult tune to do. You know, you're doing this. My love is never common. You know, it ain't nothing. What you're singing is not like going directly with what you're playing. So, but the only way to get that is to just keep doing it. But it was a rough ride, and I had to go through it. And it was one of the worst songs I have ever played. The performance was not good. I've done it better in the past, and I haven't done it a lot, but I got to keep doing it more so that it does get better. But that's about the time I was of age with the Stones when Some Girls came out. I was like 9 years old. But that's when that was the first album that I was kind of there for. But Tattoo You was really in 81 was really the one where I was in like 7th grade for that one. And that was the one, like the first one. Emotional Rescue. I remember taping Emotional Rescue off the radio. I still have that tape because it's nostalgic to me. Because, you know, after side one, they'd be like, you know, I think it was WHJY or WCOZ. One of those two. I think it was HJY, which was the Providence station. And I've got that in the, you know, where the guy comes on side one, now side two. And then I think Tattoo You was the first album I bought. Maybe not the first Stones album, but the first album I bought, like, it was released and I was ready for it. I think I had more Stones album before that. Like, I remember wanting to get Between the Buttons so bad. You know, because I read about them. I read all the books that I could about the Stones, you know, and that was always a revered album, even though the American version was different. Because the American version included Let's Spend the Night Together and Ruby Tuesday, which were not on the British version. Because in Britain, the albums were all different in Britain and America for those UK groups, the Beatles and Stones, up until 67. For the Beatles, it was Sergeant Pepper's and the Stones' Satanic Majesty's Request. Before that, the British versions didn't include the singles. You know, like you could only get Satisfaction as a single. It didn't come on an album in Britain. You know, it came out and out of our heads in America. That might not be the best example. That might have been on an album in Britain. But like Honky Tonk Women, that was only as a single. You know, you could only get that on Hot Rocks or as a single. Let's spend the night together. Now I need you more than ever. Let's spend the night together now. Not sure that one comes across well as an acoustic folky tune. I guess if you really changed it a bit, you know. C, that stayed in tune. The E, the A is still in tune. D is just slightly out of tune. Let me put my glasses on. The G is way out of tune. Still. Less so than before. The B's out of tune a bit. The E is still out of tune. Eternity. Eternity. Baby, I love you. You love me. Let's love each other through eternity. Music and love. So I don't know what's up with that. There was like people there just appeared out of nowhere and then nothing. I love this. Holy shit, chill. Slim Ball. I love cooking. I didn't see you there, Autumn Drake. Interesting. All right, folks. Probably see you tomorrow night. Thanks for tuning in. If there's nobody there, I guess that's the little hand, the little person thing. Okay. Be that way. I still had fun.